Hello everybody, I hope you are well, and in today's video I would like to speak to you about the benefits of meditation for a software engineer. Indeed, a lot of times we are quite stressed. We are quite stressed because of a short deadline, so we are a bit under pressure. For instance, our product owner, our product manager is pushing us a bit of pressure because there is a deadline and everybody needs to follow as much as they can the deadline. But of course, as everybody, or at least as you probably know, maybe not everybody knows it, especially for the ones who are not working in the software industry, but it's quite well known. And especially, I remember back in the time in 2010, I used to play a lot of video games, and releases of video games used to be always pushed forward to a later release date. The reason was that at that time there was no easy way to send a patch for the video game, because most of the video consoles were not connected to the internet, and so they had to make sure that the video game was working correctly. And usually the deadline was about like November, December, just before Christmas, just before the holidays. And that was really important for the video game publishers. But at the same time, there are always some delays. Something will always delay what you wanted to do. And I know how stressful it is to work in the video game industry because of this. And since everybody expects the video game to be released on a specific date, you have to work so many extra hours. You have to work until 10 p.m., until even 11, the whole night sometimes, and it can be really stressful. And that's why having I would say a good hygiene, a healthy hygiene, and a good routine for you is extremely important, especially when you are a software engineer. So when you are meditating, meditation is so important. So when you are meditating, you can just stare at a fire. Like, if you like bonfires, you can just stare at the fire and look at the fire. And this is it's a way of meditation. It's a way of how you can meditate. And you could also just hear the birds singing. You could just be aware of what surrounds you. Like here, I'm in a room and I appreciate where I am. And I like the things around me. And just looking at this, just being happy with everything around me is extremely important. It's something most of us don't really pay that much attention, and however it's so important. If you realize the importance of relaxing, you will be a much better software engineer. When you take time to appreciate the small things, when you slow down, and when you look at already all of the accomplishments you have done, it's such a beautiful thing to do, because then you look backward in what you have done, and you know that actually you have done quite a lot. It's easy to not be satisfied with ourselves. It's easy to be a bit harsh with ourselves, but life is beautiful, and life gives so much to you. Life is such a beauty, and when you just spend time appreciating the small things, this is where you can notice that your job is amazing, the job as a software engineer. But again, when we don't take breaks, when we cannot take breaks, then it's when it becomes unhealthy. We need to have a time for everything. We need to have a balanced day. And when you are just 100% in what you do, well, you will be able to be more in the flow, as well in the meditation mode. When I am 100% in what I do, it requires quite a lot of concentration, determination, but also, and more importantly, I need at least before, I had to meditate for a long time to create that kind of brain muscles, and that brain muscle will make my brain like more robust. My brain will not allow any external thoughts, because that's a danger. When you are allowing any thoughts, when the door is wide open, in the opposite of having a fire door, here it's very dangerous when you don't have any protection in your brain. That means, sometimes we have thoughts, we think about an email we have to write, and we break the flow. So what I suggest to you as well is to set a 90-minute sprint with yourself, like a Pomodoro. I use Forest in my case, but you have a lot of other apps you can do that. Forest is on iOS. I think you have Foresty or something like this on Android and iOS. Yeah, something like, in my case, I use Forest, but you have plenty of other applications you can use, and I can suggest you to use. So yeah, just have a look for doing something such like that, basically, because it will make you more productive and less distracted. You see here, I was looking at my phone for 2 seconds. I received a Slack message, and directly I wasn't with you anymore. So this is a real danger. You also have to be very disciplined. You have that famous quote that says, discipline equals freedom. Discipline is freedom, and it's so true. That's Forest. And so Forest, and then you have, it's like a clone of Forest. It's kind of free. At least they have a premium pricing, but I think you have to pay monthly. Forest is really good because you pay only one time, but it's only available on iOS. That's the only issue. Or Flora, sorry, it's Flora, not Foresty. Flora, Flora. All right, so I wish you all the best and happy coding, of course. See you in another video. Bye-bye.